I'm George Rivard, and I'm a man in the basement. Well, there's been a wave of cancellings of people, places, and things. That includes Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head, and that'll be the last time I'll be dead naming them, and of course, Gina Carano and the country of Syria. Well, before we get going, be sure to like and subscribe. Okay, let's start off with the first one. Dr. Seuss, who I'm surprised is not related to Dr. Dre. Turns out it doesn't work that way. Well, his estate is stopping the publishing of problematic children's books that depict minorities in a bad light, i.e. Asian Americans and black people. Books that will stop being published are If I Ran the Zoo, To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, McGillicuddy's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, and Scrambled Egg Super, and The Cat's Quizzer. Dr. Seuss would then go on to write such beloved children's novels that were a hallmark of equality and even anti-fascism. Books such as Horton Hears a Who is being said to be an apology for his past anti-Asian writings, because a person's a person, no matter how small. But then we gotta look at it at a different lens too. Remember that Dr. Seuss, he was old. And he grew up in a time when such views were the norm. It doesn't excuse them, but it does explain them. And I understand the reason behind unpublishing these books. I read these books as a child. And when you came to these problematic parts, my parents had some explaining to do. It was awkward. And as a kid, you want to see yourself reflected in the world. And I don't see myself reflected as a big-lipped tribes person from a Dr. Seuss novel. Next on the Carnival of Cancelled is actress and star of the hit show The Mandalorian, Gina Carano, who was being fired by LucasArts amid a scandalous and juicy Instagram post comparing being a conservative today to being a Jew in Hitler's Germany. Now she is being dropped by everything. She's being dropped by her agent. She's being dropped by Hasbro. She's been dropped. Many people who have followed my career know when I started, I viewed myself as a provocateur, making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo. Now, we all know there's a difference between being edgy and just being outrageous and racist. We've all seen this scene. A young open mic comedian comes in and does exactly this. Let's welcome to the stage, Benjamin Crowder.
Hey guys, yeah. I'm Benjamin Crowder. Have you noticed? What's the deal with like when Dr. Seuss is drawing a Chinaman, he draws it like this. But when he's drawing a nigger, he draws it like this. Ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga. What? They're just jokes, guys. You don't understand. I'm a philosopher of my time. I'm like the greats. Peace, that's my time.
Now, I guess what Gina's learning is that words have consequences. But I think the worst part about Gina's whole thing is that people like Ted Cruz came to defend her. I hope in my hopefully long and storied life that Ted Cruz never feels the need to defend me. And for that, Gina, I am greatly sorry. Next, we have Potato Heads, which have had their honorific dropped as an effort to include more, just inclusion for the kids. Now, I know this is great, and I think this is a good idea, because as a kid growing up, I noticed when things reflected me. And this will show kids that, hey, guess what? Gender isn't binary, and they should learn that young. Of course, conservatives are taking this as a personal attack on the toys they hold near and dear. This is where you drew the line. This is where you drew the line. A toy that literally can pull its appendages off and stores it in its bussy. This is where you drew the line. Take a seat, man. Because let's look at the fourth canceling. Syria. It's been canceled. Yes, and it really has been canceled. Like 21 times just a little while ago by Biden. He was just like, cancel, 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 cancel. And that's another case that it was just advantageous for the corporations to cancel Syria. But they actually canceled it.
So when we're throwing this word cancel around, we really gotta be careful of what we mean. Do we mean cancel as in we're gonna take a couple old and antiquated books off the shelf? Or canceled as in we're gonna bomb a bunch of tents in the Middle East? Do we mean canceled as in we're going to stop a problematic film star's career? Or do we mean literally bombing the shit out of children? Or do we mean canceled as in making a time-honored toy just a little bit more accessible for the youth and children of today? Or do we mean literally targeted airstrikes on a country that we do not have any business being in? So what I think really comes down to with the cancel culture is that people are scared that their way of life is changing. And I know it's difficult. If I were on top and I was scared that people would treat me like I treated them, I'd be kind of pissed off too. But it's okay. We're not going to do that. We're just going to make your life a little bit difficult. What does all this mean? Does this mean that like corporations are getting better? We don't need to do the revolution anymore? Well, yes, but also no. Turns out that corporations are amoral and they'll do the thing that makes them the most profit. So right now, apparently the thing that makes them the most profit just lines up with the way the social tide is going.
The market has spoken and is saying that racism and transphobia are no longer profitable. And if this means that the world becomes a better place, oh no, I'm cool with that. So I'm going to leave you with the ever wise words of the Lorax.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Well, I being a guy in a basement, and like we say in the Yukon, peace.